All right, my name is Amaya Borroto, and I'm going to be doing a presentation on close reading and annotation. So, close reading is the process of reading and rereading a given text to find the deeper meaning. This kind of slow, focused reading can help us to interpret more challenging passages as well as to reveal the deeper meaning behind a given text. Annotation is like the physical manifestation of that close reading, where you just leave your thoughts on the page. Instead of just randomly highlighting, though, annotating allows us to interact with the words on the page. By writing down what you find confusing, notable, or interesting, you can come away with a deeper understanding. Whenever you read the passage carefully and several times over, especially if you find a certain passage confusing, you can ask for help and then just ask yourself what the author might mean about a certain thing and leave critical and explanatory notes in the margin so that you can look back on that whenever you need it for exams and assignments. There are three main steps, which is first to identify your passage by looking out for anything that sticks out to you, whether it be an interesting plot point, a new character being introduced, and then analyzing that section, looking for notable diction, things that give away the mood, tone, and purpose, as well as just any figurative language that can kind of like point you in the direction of an important passage to close read. The third step is to write it all down so that you have that backlog of notes whenever you need it. Let's practice with this sonnet by Terence Hayes. I lock you in an American sonnet that is part prison, part panic closet, a little room in a house set aflame. I lock you in a form that is part music box, part meat grinder to separate the song of the bird from the bone. Sonnets are famously one of the most restrictive kind of poems. The structure and the content are often tightly linked, and they can be heavily regulated based on, who you're asking. When we take a look at these couple lines in particular, there's a lot that might stand out to you. Figurative language like metaphor and imagery bring his words to life. When we focus on the repetition of certain phrases, like I lock you at the start of those two lines, and you ask yourself why the author might have chosen to do that, you can kind of start to unveil like the deeper meaning. So I lock you in an American sonnet, I lock you in a form. You can see that he's commenting on this restrictive structure. And how the author has this high degree of control over what kind of feelings he wants to evoke from you, because poetry is a form of art, which, is meant to show you something about the human experience. And then you can see the repetition of the word part, how part prison, part panic closet, part music box, part meat grinder, like these very disparate elements come together in this bigger picture, in this bigger commentary about what a sonnet can do, what it can do, and how it can make you feel. You can also just pull out certain phrases or certain words that stand out to you, like prison or panic closet, especially that last line, grinder, a meat grinder to separate the song of the bird from the bone. You can see how he's trying to show that there's this message, there's this beautiful piece of art in this very restrictive, kind of messy, grueling almost form. So as you can see, by just taking apart those disparate elements, you can see that the author is expressing their perspective on poetry as a form. And you can see that the effect is to comment on his ability, the writer's ability, to convey and evoke emotion through this ageless form that people have been using for centuries. So all in all, why close read? In order to decode challenging passages, anything that you find challenging, if you just take the time to, look at it deeper, you can come away with a more broad understanding. You can see the deeper meaning of a text and identify the author's purpose in writing something. So to finish us off, I just want to leave you with this message, this little rhyme. With your pen on the page, thoughts unfold, close read and annotate to make the meaning bold. Thank you guys so much.